everybody, and welcome to the Building Excellence podcast. This podcast is for people who are desiring to build excellence in any area of their life. This podcast is built a little different. It's not about one person, it's actually about many people who have a passion about building excellence in their life and also building excellence in the lives of others. It's a lot of people who have made a lot of mistakes and they've grown wise in some areas. And they're like, you know what? If I can help some people not make the same mistakes that I've made, then I think I'm going to share that. Or perhaps it's somebody who's studied and become a specialist at a topic or two. And they're saying, you know what? I'm going to come on here to try to help you build excellence in your life. Well, listen, just a few episodes ago, we began organically talking about a very interesting topic on our social media and our website. People were giving a lot of feedback about this idea. So we thought we should do an episode that's just about this idea. It was this idea: you cannot become excellent or great at anything unless you have a great coach. That stemmed from a conversation around, we were talking about, we don't understand why it's so taboo or why people don't think it's normal or even a good thing to go and talk to somebody about different challenges that you're facing in life. Challenges about anything. Challenges about trauma that you grew up with, challenges about your childhood, your parenting today. It could be challenges in your career. It could just be challenges about friendships and relationships. Your husband's getting on your nerves, your wife's getting on your nerves, and one thing that I've learned in my life is the more I can talk about the situations that I'm going through, the more I can talk to somebody about a place that I'm desiring to go in my life or in my career. If I could just bounce ideas off of them, the stronger, more healthier, more energized, the more stable I become. And as I look back on anything that I've done well, it was on the foundation of many people speaking into it. Some people saying things like, I wouldn't think like that, or I wouldn't necessarily do that, or you might need to go apologize, or you might say it like this, or it just came on the backs of people coaching me and people listening and just giving me wise counsel. And so, one thing I know is every phase of my life, I had different coaches. When I was a little boy, I had a pee wee coach. When I got to school, I had teachers that became coaches. When I became a professional, I had people who were professional that I asked for advice with my money or advice in parenting. And then sometimes you guys are like me, that your problems become so great, your challenges become so great. I like to think of it like this: I'm trying to become the best person that I can be, the best leader I can be, the best dad that I can be. And so, because of that, I might need to start specializing my conversations with certain people. I might need to start asking some people who may be professionals, like professionals in accounting or professionals in leadership coaching or HR professionals. And so today I have some special guests. These guests are licensed professional counselors. These are people who literally have studied and have researched to try to help people like you and I become the best mentally that we can be, so we can be the best me, be the best leaders, be the best people that we can be on the planet. Now, let me introduce you to our special guest. Ladies are always first. I would love for you to please tell everybody who you are, tell us the name of your business, and then just give them a snippet about how you best help people.
I'm Katrina, and I am the owner of Renew Restoration, a private practice here in Edmond. And I kind of specialize in helping people to heal and begin again. So we all go through
Mm,
challenges in life. We all face difficulties every day, and I love to walk alongside others in helping them through that journey, through that
wow.
process. So
Wow. That is awesome. All right. Please, same question. So tell everybody.
My name is Andre Whaley. I own and operate OJW Counseling. And honestly, my goal is to connect folks to the outcomes that they choose for themselves. It's not me, it's you. We get in there, have a good conversation, and hopefully we get to a place where we all can succeed.
Mm, wow. So I hope y'all are ready for a power-packed session with these two individuals. One of the hardest things that I had to do was prepare for this. It's like I have a million questions I want to ask them. I had to try to summarize it, and so I feel like I did. So I have them all written down, but I want to begin with just something that's just on my heart. I feel that many people that I'm around, uh, this is in business, this is in family, many of them would love to talk to somebody about different challenges that they're facing.
Right.
And for some reason, they don't view seeing you guys as an option. What is a way that you believe we can begin to make a step, a easy step for them to understand that you don't have to keep it bottled up, but you guys are an option to bring anything to?
Yeah.
What would you say, Andre?
I guess primarily the biggest thing is what you get with a therapist, counselor, is unconditional positive regard. So that is like the main tenet that we all operate under.
Wow.
Doesn't matter who it is. You come in the door, I'm not judging you. I'm just talking to you.
Wait, man, it's a judgment-free zone?
It's a judgment-free
So I can come
zone.
here and be like, hey, man, listen, I'm struggling. I am on drugs. I'm
Absolutely.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
I am treating my wife poorly. I'm treating my kids poorly.
Yes.
All of that.
All of
All of that.
And you're going to see me as a human?
The most common thing is I've been, cheating in my marriage or
Wow.
something. It's just a very common thing that comes
Wow.
in. And they're like, well, I need to get this under control.
Wow.
I need discipline. I need structure. I need somebody to talk to about this so I can kind of like walk it back and change my life around. So that unconditional positive regard is what I lead with. I remember when I was studying, professor told me jerks don't make good therapists. You know what I mean? So
That's
you can't be a jerk, and you want to come
So
in
good.
and you just want to be a good person.
It's very rare that any of us get a place to take our mask off.
Mm.
I just felt him saying this is one of the few spaces that we can take our mask off. I'll
Mhm.
tell you right now, it's most environments, work, family, you name it. There's a certain mask we got to keep on, and that may be one of the reasons why we don't want to talk, because we feel like there ain't no place to take the mask off. So that's helpful. That's what an environment like this is. It's a place that just come as you are, and you can be as transparent and as vulnerable. Wow, Katrina,
Yeah.
help us. Like, same question. Like, what is your perspective? How do we help as many people as possible see that coming to see you is an option?
Yeah. So I would always say, like, first, it's okay not to be okay.
Wow.
Let's start there. It's okay.
You trying to say
Not
everybody
to-
ain't got to put together?
Right. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Let's bust the stigma right open. It's okay to not always be on top of your game, right? It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to just live in the space that you are unbiasedly. And like Andre was saying, just non-judgmental space, we're unbiased, right? We don't have an opinion. We don't have a foot in your life. So you can come as you are, right? You can come, like you said, unmasked and be able to
Busted.
feel
Disgusted.
right,
Got
feel
it.
comfortable, and that's the space I like to create, right? Non-judgmental, and that's what therapy is. It's a non-judgmental person that you can come and you can share whatever you want. And this can be the only place that you share it. I've seen people cry, I've seen men cry, I've seen all types of things because we want to create that space. We want to create that space of say, hey, I can tell you my deepest, darkest secrets, and it won't leave this room. Right. And that's another layer of it, right? So we don't go around sharing things, it's confidential. It's something that we don't exploit or tamper with. It's your space to do whatever you want with it, right? So
That is a very unique space. I don't know of another space that's built like that, honestly. I've never heard anybody explain that that's what therapy is. That's what seeing a licensed therapist is. I'm telling you, my knee jerk reaction was, okay, this is a place that I go talk to them to give me some medicine. I'm telling you, that's where I was. That is for people who are mentally ill. Like you need to prescribe to me some pills or put me in a straitjacket or something. Wow, this is a place that I can come as I am and judgment free zone
Mm-hmm.
and take my mask off,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna listen and care and allow me to just throw up on you,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna judge me. Wow, wow. Well, um, I feel like I need to get some insight on what that looks like. So let's say, like day one, if we're coming to you and we have issues, like it's typically gonna be pretty tough for me just to, I don't know you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to just tell you my life story.
Right.
Like, how do you, or what are the expectations on me as the customer whenever I come into your office? Is it you better talk to me now, or is there a trust building process, or help me understand that a little bit? Katrina, let me start with you this time.
The good news is there's no expectations for
Right.
Okay.
this is your space,
Right.
right? So we take a back seat, you take the seat, right? And so I hear people all the time, it's like, I don't want to ramble. I'm like, no, ramble. This is the only place you probably get to do that. Be your natural self. So there's no expectation from us with you coming in. So
Got it.
just build a rapport. Tell me about yourself. What? Tell me about your life. How are your kids? I love getting to know my clients. Like I get some clients to say, "How'd you remember my dog's name?" Because I love to. You're a person, right? You're not just a diagnosis, right? Something on paper. You come to life to me, and so I love building that rapport first.
What if I don't want any small talk and I just want to talk to you about my problems?
Again, your space,
Really?
right? You are the
So I can
leader
just come
coming
here and be
into
like, "Hi,
it.
my name is Dwayne. Listen,
Yes,
my wife's crazy.
yes.
She really ain't, but I'm just making
She's
this
not.
up. Okay, all right. Love you. I love you. My kids is crazy. Let me tell you what you did. They not crazy. I love y'all kiddos. But I can just come in and just blah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No
Absolutely.
protocol.
You are in control of this.
And if I don't want to talk, you can leave me.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Absolutely.
I can. However, there are times where what I like to do is I like to start off with like a little small, quick communication test. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
I know how I communicate. I know who I am. I know I can be a little bit rigid, a little bit brash at times.
Okay.
So I slip on a little communication test so I can feel out your personality type. How do you like to receive information? How do you like to communicate information? That lets me lead my questions a little bit better, form them a little bit better,
Yeah.
and then we can have, just like Katrina was talking about, that rapport that's necessary, because I'm your advocate. I'm your therapist and your advocate. 9 times out of 10, I'll probably land on your side for the most part.
Wow.
However, there are opportunities where I have to, not necessarily put the foot down, but also just kind of pick apart, poke holes into what I call like cognitive fallacies.
What does that mean?
I mean, things that aren't true, things
Ah,
that you think that aren't true,
ah,
or cognitive distortions, things that you think that are just wrong.
ah.
You know what I mean?
So, okay, so I love that. So, I just feel like there's a menu of options here. So I can come in and I can talk if I want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I can not talk, and then you can guide the conversation. But then, when there's opportunities for you to, grow my thinking, help me to think differently or see a different perspective, you guys welcome those opportunities as
Yeah,
well.
man. Your
Absolutely.
thoughts inform your actions. So how you think about something
Mm.
is how you're going to act,
Absolutely.
how you're going to behave.
Well, I feel like that's a wonderful way to kick this conversation off. Let me tell you what I believe I just learned. If you're ever struggling mentally and you're needing someone to talk to, sometimes you have something you want to say, but you just don't feel safe to say it to your spouse. Maybe you don't feel safe to say it to your closest friends. Maybe you don't feel safe to say it to your pastor or spiritual leader. Maybe you have some things that you've been bottling up your entire life. Maybe it's from childhood, and you're like, man, I don't know who to tell this to. Wow, today we just learned there's a space for you. That licensed professional counselors have been trained to listen to whatever it is. They've been trained to make it a judgment free zone, a space for you to take the mask off, for you to be heard, listened to. Hopefully, that even just makes you just feel, sometimes it just feels good to talk about it. And then after that, they can provide you some perspective on where do I go from here? How do I go from feeling the way I'm feeling now to feeling maybe healthy and whole, like Katrina was saying earlier? Whew, all right. Now I'm getting to some of my prepared questions. I wanted to do my best to maximize these professionals' time, right? Uh, oh, this is a good one. What makes you guys different than me just talking to one of my homeboys? So if I'm struggling mentally, if I'm struggling with my marriage, if I'm struggling with trauma in my childhood, if I'm struggling emotionally, if I'm angry and I just need to get it out, you know, I'm just saying, like, I grew up, we didn't talk. Nobody in my family talked to nobody
Right.
licensed.
Right.
Yeah.
They talked to a sibling, they talked
Jesus.
to a friend, they maybe went to church,
Mhm.
why should somebody talk to y'all versus talking to a friend? Andre,
That's good.
I'll start with you.
That's good.
Oh, you're going to me.
He's like, where do I begin?
Oh, where do I
Well,
How
begin?
much time we got for
Where
that?
do I begin? I do believe that, um, aside from being a sympathetic ear, I think one of the things is that we have that background, that information. We have evidence-based methodology that we share with our clients.
hold on. He just said evidence-based methodology. Okay, I know none of my friends got that. Okay. For those that don't know what that is, tell us, what does
Okay.
evidence-based
I
methodology
just use
mean?
myself as an example. So, as a part of becoming a licensed professional, I studied applied behavioral psychology.
Okay.
So that means I can apply what I've learned to real world scenarios for someone to understand so they can go back and reproduce those outcomes and those actions. Right? So
Ah,
I know, or at least for the most part, I'm still learning. It's always a continued education.
totally.
But like, I know for the most part, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're thinking. This is human nature. This is why you're thinking this. And I understand all the underneath psychology behind it. So I just give that information to my clients so they can utilize that to kind of bring about the outcomes that they want.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat back what I think I heard.
Okay.
Okay. What I
That
love
can be
about
long-winded
this
sometimes.
is that that wasn't long-winded at
Oh,
all.
sorry.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
What I love about me being able to ask these questions is I'm very ignorant
Mm,
on these topics, and so
okay.
I'm just gonna maybe some of you guys are too. So I'm gonna ask some. First, I'm gonna repeat what I believe I heard, and please tweak it though. Please
Yeah,
change it if I didn't
absolutely.
say. So, are you saying that you studied human behavior and you study the outcomes of human behavior, and you study that, okay, here is what's normal, here is what's not normal,
Hmm.
and if you do this, here are potential outcomes of that, and if you want to change the outcome, then here are some other things that you could do.
Hmm.
Is that what you're saying, or or or,
That
or
is
please
what I'm
change it?
saying. I mean, only correction I would
Please,
say is
please.
just like the normal word is like therapists. We're not really into talking about normality
Mm,
as much as something that is acceptable social behavior. You know what I mean?
got it.
So like, what's normal and what's not normal. That's probably not as much important to me as are you functioning properly in society
Got it.
or are you impaired? So if you're impaired, then that's what we call a disorder.
Okay, so sell me on this.
Hmm.
um I don't want to come talk to you. I want to come talk to my homeboy that makes me feel good and tells me to leave my wife.
All right,
Why should I come talk to you?
because I don't have any stake in the game.
Mm,
Your homeboy has a relationship with you,
wow.
may have a relationship with your wife, not not that type of
Ah!
relationship, but a relationship, just a
Oh,
relationship with your wife,
Absolutely not.
and that he has stake in the game. He wants that relationship. He wants you to be better, and he wants that relationship to be not only better for you, but better for him.
so he's a little biased, is what you saying?
Yes, I'm
Ah,
coming there. I'm just for you. I'm gonna give you the skinny. the information that you need so that you can move forward for what's better for you
Uh,
and your outcomes.
so you're saying that my homeboy may not be honest with me all the time. He may not tell me areas I need to grow in. He may lean more to just uh, being my friend.
Right. I think friends always encourage, right?
Ah,
That's what friends do. They just build you up. And that's great. And there's a part of our jobs as counselors that, we do encourage.
ah,
But then there's that other side. It's that side where you're like, you might want to change that, maybe
wow.
adjust that just a little, you know what I mean, to get the outcomes that you say you want, not the ones that I want for you,
Mm,
the ones that you say you want.
wow. Okay, that blessed me, man. Having a unbiased ear
Mm.
that can hear the outcomes that you want and tell you if what you're thinking or what you're doing are going to help you achieve those outcomes.
Man, on my site, I think one of the blurbs that I used, like,
Please.
it was like, hey, are your decisions drawing you closer to your goals or pushing you further away? So I kind of remove myself from the equation. I'm here as a medium, a vessel, if you will, but like, it's not me, it's you.
Mm,
You tell me, you come in day one, Honor, I want this. I want this type of life. I want to feel this way when I get up in the morning. I was like, okay, well, what are you doing when you get up in the morning? Is that action bringing you closer to that goal or is it taking you further away?
Katrina, sell me.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to come talk to you. I'm gonna go talk to my homeboy. He tells me what I want to hear, how I want to hear it. He keeps me feeling good. I don't like the way I'm feeling on the inside, but he helps me cope with it. So why should I stop talking to him and come talk to you?
I mean, hear me out.
I'm gonna hear you
Okay,
out.
hear me
I'm
out.
gonna hear you out.
So a lot of times when we're talking to our friends and family about challenges, problems, first
Yeah.
of all, like Andre said, we're unbiased, so we
Mm.
don't have any stake in who that person is, who that person is not. I am new and neutral, right? And then you go a little further. They may not have gone through the process themselves, right? They may be still in the hurt place. They may be still in an unhealed place. So talking to them about these things may not lend you the advice that you actually need. It may give you what you want, but if they're not, or if they have not dealt with some of the issues that they've probably gone through right in their life,
Just blind leading the
it's
blind.
right. And so sometimes it's good to hear, but
Ah.
then you might have to go say, let me go find out the real answer, from a professional who probably went through the process or who knows how to get you through the process versus having a personal opinion about it, right?
Ah.
So you have a personal opinion versus a professional opinion. Um, so
That's worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do this.
She
use
said,
it. That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
that is a shirt.
It's a shirt.
Whenever you are going through something and you need to talk to somebody, you got two options. You can go get a personal opinion or you can get a professional opinion. Who can I go get a personal opinion from?
Friends, family, pastors, leaders,
Wow.
coworkers,
Wow. Who can I get a
kids.
professional opinion from? Wow.
Katrina.
So, what makes you professional? I know you said this in a number of different ways, but I want to hear it in this context.
Mm.
What makes you professional? What would you say, Katrina? What makes you professional?
I think the thing that makes us stand out is that we don't have the opportunity to get to know you on a personal basis. So I wouldn't
So
do
person's not even
therapy.
an option.
I wouldn't do therapy with my friends.
Got
Not
it.
professional therapy. I would not, because I'm already sold on who that person is. I know their background. I know who they are. And so professionally, I can give you textbook answers that are actually evidence based, like Andre said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing to do with, oh, I was at your wedding,
Mm-hmm.
so I know you, you know. So that's why it's like we don't necessarily do therapy with our family and friends because we're already in it. We're biased.
We're biased
Um,
because we've already created a narrative.
Right.
Wow.
That
So, like,
relationship piece.
the first session, they're creating a new narrative with me. They can be whoever they want.
Right.
And we're not disillusioned in the sense that we think that we're not lied to or led astray on many occasions. You know what I mean? But all I can do is work with what you give me, the information that I'm given in the session. That's the narrative that I work with.
And to piggyback off that, we have a bird's eye view. So we're not
Mhm.
in it with you.
Mm.
We can step back, help you step back and say, okay, let's look at the scope of this issue. Let's look at the scope of this problem or challenge. We're
Mhm.
not already zoomed into that emotion and feeling. We're like, okay, let's think logically, right? Let's pull this back a little so we can really get to understand like what is actually going on. And we can kind of see that as you're talking, right? That's why when people say, I don't want to ramble. I was like, oh, your rambling is helping me because I'm putting pieces together. I'm hearing patterns. I'm hearing trains of thought. I'm seeing different behaviors that you may have shared. So I'm listening to understand, not listening to hear and respond, right?
Mhm.
So it goes deeper. My listening is to understand what you're saying or what you're not saying, right? What's
Mm.
behind those
What you're not
words?
saying.
I'm not thinking emotionally, right? I'm
Mhm.
not thinking about your, oh, you're angry. I'm like, let's step back. What led you to become angry, right?
Wow.
What's that background information?
Wow.
And so a friend would be like, oh, I'm angry too. Let's go get them. And see,
Wow.
we're not emotionally invested.
Wow.
And so that gives you a hand up as a professional to say, hey, we're thinking logically here. So when I'm in a session with someone, I'm formulating what's happening. I'm not in what you're talking about. I'm formulating, okay, there's a bigger picture to this. And so I'm putting pieces together like, oh, you said that word about 5 times. It's something to that. So I'm able to see that in my therapist's eye, right? So if I'm talking to my friend, I'm not in that mode. So I'm just like, I'm in the emotion with you, like, oh, she said what? Oh my goodness. And so
Wow.
that's the difference, when you're thinking about the two worlds. So
Wow. I hope y'all were taking some good notes.
Mhm.
One of the great things about this Building Excellence podcast is we always like to ask ourselves this question: what did we learn? Well, let me tell you what we just learned. If you want to become excellent,
Mm.
you got to become excellent mentally. And if you're going to become excellent mentally, at some point you got to graduate from personal opinions
Mm.
and you actually got to go seek professional opinions. We just learned today that a personal opinion is somebody who knows you. So they have a personal relationship with you. So they're biased and they're always going to only give you what they believe that maybe you can handle while we keep our personal relationship.
Mhm.
it's good.
But when you go seek professional opinions, they don't know you personally. So they can't give you personal coaching. They're only going to give you professional coaching. They're going to look underneath the hood and try to figure out the why behind it and then give you unbiased advice on how you could go forward to become who you want to be and achieve the goals you want to achieve.
Mhm.
Wow. Let's graduate from personal opinions
Mm.
to professional opinions. Well, guys, we're going to end our conversation right there, and we're going to pick back up with our special guest in our next episode. I hope this particular episode helps you take a step in building excellence.